Ah, okay. Hi, friends. Doc South here. This is another one of my video blurps aimed at trying to explain the words on this, this this card that I consider quite important. It's just a plain old. Actually, this is from when I worked for A&P. I think they were selling international coffee creamers, three for $5. You know, it's blaring it out, big yellow card. I think this is the one color mixed with red is a color combination that draws people's attention to a card. I think, of course, the big three for five kind of deal going on, and etc. You got to have your. I think it was your shopper's card to get that, so you had to be in the club, and all that stuff. And then on the back of it is, and this is all I ever hope to do. I hope someone keeps this after my time on Earth is done. But it's just simple words to live by. Things like be an apprentice angel, like, not necessarily love, but like the people you run into. Don't worry so much. Things like that. Well, I've be grateful for the chance to serve. And now I got one here I got to work on is humble. And the only example, well, one example I can come up with is, well, number one, I think it's a good idea to be humble. Be on the lookout for good things you can do. But when you've done them, don't brag on them. Just be glad you had a chance to do them. Be grateful for the chance that you had, and in your own heart, perhaps be proud that you had a chance to help. But other than that, just don't. Just do it. Do the good deed and forget about it. For instance, when I joined the rescue squad in North Carolina, down in the city of Wilson, I I found it interesting. They were wonderful people, and they'd come back amongst ourselves. We'd come back from a call where maybe we saved someone. We actually, kept someone, they're alive, maybe even still to this day, that kind of thing. I mean, we had some really great rescue, and boy, I tell you, we did it. Did it fine. And we were high-fiving each other, the duty crew. Come on, we're going for beers after our duty call. When the shift is over. There you go. It's Miller time or Budweiser time, whatever the heck, pizza time, iced tea time, I don't know. And and they'd be very tickled among ourselves. But I was there I'll bet I was there a year before I learned that our squad at one time had Rescue of the Year for the state of North Carolina. I had absolutely, and you know what it was? It was hairy. There was a fella who was cutting. They were demolishing one of those big water tanks. Yeah, that a lot of the cities down south will have these. They store the water up in a tank for the city. Usually they're very big tanks made of steel. And I guess this one was getting old. They had built a better one, so I guess he worked for a company that knocked these things down in our county and other counties throughout the state. And he I guess something went wrong. He must have cut the wrong thing, and the wrong girder or whatever, and the thing started to shift. Yeah, and now we're talking maybe a 200-foot high tower. Okay, so certainly 150 feet. It was big. It was up there, and very heavy. And now it's going like this. Yeah, and it finally stops. Thank heaven. But the guy's stuck up there. He's stuck. He's pinned. He's hurting bad, and he's up pretty darn high. He may have even been on the bottom of the tank. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. But the squad comes. They go to the call. They look at it. Say, "Oh my God," and they start working things out. we had two or three guys that were good at climbing such things, and they went up with ropes. They laid out ropes. They I think they tied to the top of the tank again, all the while like this with the tank, and they rappelled down to where this fellow was. They got him. They got him loose somehow. They had cutting torches come up. One of them knew how to cut steel. They cut a section where they could get his hand free. They got him out. He's in horrible pain or unconscious by this point. They lower him down. Then they come down. They get everything out of the way. And it wasn't much longer, I believe, not much longer, as that tower came down and hit the ground with a vengeance. If it wasn't that hour, it was shortly thereafter. The thing was ready to fall, and it did. Well, they got the guy to the hospital. He had pretty bad fractures on one of his limbs. I forget which, and the neat thing. Oh, that's Millie coming in. I think yeah, and the guy the guy was in the hospital. I guess the squad, when they got back, they were all high-fiving, hey, boy, I tell you, that was cool, wow. But you know something? That was it. That year, that particular rescue got Rescue of the Year in North Carolina. And doggone, there's something to brag about. They didn't even tell me about it. They just didn't, they did not brag about such things. And there's something good about that. They just did it, and then they were happy they got it taken care of. But other than that, yeah, just another day. Let's go to the next call. That one's important too. You see what I'm saying? They were kind of humble about it, and darn if that doesn't make for a good person. I don't know. I mean, God, they could have gotten TV contracts for that. It could have been a reality show. But they didn't want that. They just were happy they were able to help. Oddly enough, about 3 months after that incident, a guy comes into the guy they saved comes in on he may have been still on crutches, maybe had a cast on his arm, I don't know. But he comes in. I wasn't there. He comes in and he says, "I want to join this squad." Yeah, and he became a very, very good rescue person. And was very adept at underwater rescue. We'd send him in for water rescues. Yeah, he was like almost a frogman, not quite, but darn close. Huh? Yeah. So humble is a good idea. You do a good deed, okay, pat yourself on the back, but then just start looking for the next one. No sense wasting time bragging about what you did. Just get your eyes open for that next. Right. Okay, you see what I'm saying? If you can do that, good for you. It's hard to do. Oh, it's hard to do. But give it a whirl. I'll see you later, friends. Thank you. God bless.